This is going to be Essentials Week 8, and so let's get started. Algebraically speaking, it's the same as it always is. You have a word problem and you have to write an algebraic equation for it and solve it. So D picked 24 apples. This is 8 fewer than Jack picked. So what does this mean? This means that 24 greater plus 8 is going to be the number we want, right? So, if D has 24 apples and that's 8 fewer than Jack had, then plus 8 is equal to X. And X is our is the amount Jack picked. So 24 plus 8 is 32. Not hard. Investigate data. What is the difference between the mean and median of the set of data? Okay, so this is a weird thing. I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but basically, if you look to the left of this line, that represents the tens places. So you have all these numbers right here. These are the tens places of the numbers, and the numbers to the right of the line are the ones places. So 1, 6, blah blah blah. So this would represent 6 in the tens place and a 1 in the ones place, so 61. That would be your number. And you'd read it this way. You'd go 6 as the tens, 6 as the ones. So these are actually two different data points. I forgot what these things are called, but that's essentially how you read it. And so to get the mean, of course, you have to add up all of them and divide by however many it is. And so you add up 61 plus 66 plus 68, blah, blah, blah. Divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And you should get 79.6 repeating. And the repeating sign, of course, is that little line over the 6, meaning that it's just 0.66666 going on forever. And then your median is a little bit easier to do with these numbers. Let me just go ahead and write this out. Okay, so median, you know that you cross out the highest and lowest numbers respectively. So we start out cross, 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 cross. Keep going. And here it gets tricky. You got to think, what's the next highest number up? It's going to be 71. What's the next lowest number up from the highest? Is going to be the 8. So we're left with 84 and 83. Wait, hold on. No, we're not. 1, 1. Oh, okay, I messed up. So you essentially cross these out at the end, and you're left with 3 in the ones place, 8 in the tens place, so 83. 83 is your answer. Kind of messed up. Okay, so geometry rules. The rectangular sign has an area of 128 centimeters squared and a perimeter of 48 centimeters. The measure of one side is twice the other side. What are the dimensions of the sign? So we got the sign with area 128 centimeters squared. It says, well, we don't even have to look at the perimeter. That's just fun. You could look at it either way. So saying one side is 2 times the other one, so 2x and x. X would represent the length of the shortest side. So we can use x in this equation because we know one side is 2 times the other. The 2 times x is one of the sides, and you can defer that that's not even the right word in the context, but you can figure out that this would be x, that would be 2x. Because you can't have like a parallelogram. They're asking for a rectangle, and so you can go either way. You can go find the area, which would be 2x times x, and set that equal to the known area, which is 128. Oops. Or you could go to perimeter and say 2x plus x plus 2x plus x is equal to, what is it, 48. And you're just going to solve these. So 2x times x, 2x squared. Don't say 4x or anything like that, because it's an x times an x. When you multiply variables, you add the exponents. Both these exponents are 1, so you add those together and you get x to the 2. So you're going to get down here 2x squared is equal to 128. Divide by 2 and you get x squared is equal to 64. And then you take the square root, which is the opposite of exponent. So you take the square root of both sides and you get x is equal to 8. So you know that this shortest side has got to be 8, this has got to be 16. If you multiply it by 2, because it says it's 2 times your shortest side. Here we can just combine like terms. 2x plus x plus 2x plus x is going to be 6x is equal to 48. And 48 divided by 6 is 8. So you get the same answer for that. So the dimensions are basically, since this is a 2D figure, it's only going to be 2 numbers. So you know it's going to be 8 by 16. And you write that like that with the multiplication sign in the middle. 8 by 16 centimeters. Make sure you put that. That's your answer. Okay, next we have Mathmania. Find a pattern. Okay, let's see. Gotta figure out how I did this. So we have 3 to the first, 3 to the second, 9, 3 to the third, 27, and 3 to the fourth is going to be, let's say, 81. Okay, so the first thing I see is, what I always look at first is like the difference between the numbers. But of course here there's no pattern at all. There's no pattern. This would be 6, this would be 18, and I mean it just doesn't make sense. Well, I don't think so, hold on. 81 minus 54. I guess it does work. Oh, never mind. Well, there can be 2 patterns actually, I think. No, because in this problem, you want to be able to find 3 to the x, which is basically any number that you can find in there, and be able to find that number without a calculator, or at least a part of that number without a calculator. And so, the next thing we could look at, since like if I can't figure out 3 to the 24th by figuring out differences, right? Even though that is a pattern, okay? That would be, this pattern would be, since this is 6 and this is 18, you just multiply by 3. Multiply your difference by 3. But we can't really figure that out. It's really hard. So a less complicated way that you can figure out is if you look at the ones places. This is the next thing I looked at. Look at the ones places. They're all different. So this could mean that there would be a pattern, because if they're all different, then you could essentially figure out any ones place. If let's look at 3 to the 5th. 3 to the 5th is going to be 243. 3 to the 6th is 729. And 3 to the 7th, let's go ahead and do that, is 2,187. Okay, so if we look at the ones places here, look, a 3, a 9, a 7. What do we have up here? A 3, 9, 7. I bet you the next one's going to be a 1. Let's just check. 3 to the 8th. 6,561. So, hey, we got a pattern. The ones place changes in this pattern. This is the pattern of it. So, for every 4 powers that it increases, the ones